Y'all, they just blinked. The Democrats, Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, they just blinked, and I'm not even sure they realize what they just did. I'm going to walk you through this entire thing, but there's an important phrase that I want you guys to remember. My dad, when I was younger, always taught me this about negotiations. The person who speaks first loses. Chuck Schumer just spoke first, and the point at which he began the negotiation line is going to be a bad thing for him, and I'm going to lay the entire thing out for you right now. So as you guys get in here, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. This is going in the direction exactly as foreseen, to borrow a line from the Emperor of Star Wars. Everything is occurring. All right, listen, guys. As you get in here, hit that audio, that video, 5x5. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. Not only are we saving the country for ourselves, for this generation, but also we're handing it to the next a lot better than we found it. We are on a mission, and we'd love to have you along for the ride. All right, let's get in here. Looks like we got audio, we got video. Excellent, guys. The way that you can send this out and surpass and circumvent the YouTube algorithm is in your hands. And emojis, chats, and comments also do just that. All right, enough of you are in here. I'm not going to bury the lead. It's Friday night. You guys are honoring me enough with just your presence for this eve. I'm going to be honest with you. This might be a fun one because the sarcasm is about to get real. Okay, so you, of course, can follow me on X at Braden LOA if you'd like. But we're going to talk about what just happened today because the Democrats and Schumer in the Senate just made the first conversation. They just set the negotiation point. And here's the thing about negotiation, and I'm giving you all the goodies up front, and then I got the clips, and I got the media bashing the crap out of them using very specific language. It's coming, don't worry. Like a little Easter egg towards the end of this video or live stream. When you're the first person to talk in a negotiation, you're going to lose, right? Because here's what happens. The person who speaks first comes up with an idea, and that's now the starting point of the conversation. So the person who offers the counter is going to be the opposite direction. So here's the way it lays out in a linear fashion. I want this thing, says the first person to speak, Democrats in this scenario. Other person, no chance in hell, I'll give you this. Well, let's compromise, go right in the middle. The person who talked first always loses. All right. This is really key, guys. You got to pay attention to the language. You got to pay attention to the words they use because this is everything. Let's go to Chris Murphy. I showed you a video clip of him today saying how they've got to get something or they'll lose all their base for the November election. They're not even hiding it anymore. They're just openly saying it. Yes, we are offering a compromise. Well, that took about 5 hours. Just a simple 1-year extension. A meager offering of 1-year extension. No bells and whistles, so Americans don't see devastating rate hikes, rates doubling in many cases this holiday season. Get ready, spicy's coming. Now Republicans just need to say yes, and the government reopens. Say yes to the dress. Oh my goodness. All right. Hey guys, knock knock, who's there? Guess what's in a year? Yeah, the midterm elections. What do you think is going to happen if the Republicans go, oh, it's just a meager, simple, same spending with an extension of 1 year that'll terminate in October of next year, right before the midterms, and then you guys will pass a CR and clean resolutions, and we'll be funding the government, we're rolling for the next election, right? Especially after you guys think and translated the wins that just happened in Virginia, New York, and New Jersey to that government shutdown. So you wouldn't do that again, right? Right before the midterms? Pause for dramatic effect. Of course that's what they're going to try to do. So if you give them 1 year right now, and we're in November 7th today, what do you think's going to happen when the midterms get around here? All of a sudden, it's going to be those dastardly Republicans are causing another shutdown right before elections. Guys, vote for us. I mean, God in heaven. Even Bernie Sanders can see this coming. Let's get back to it. All right. Now back to this language. And by the way, guys, if you're enjoying this, let me hear you in the comment in the chat. Now Republicans just need to say yes to the dress and government reopens. All right, that sounds such a interesting language choice, isn't it? Because you guys know how I love to dive into the details and I pick up patterns. Oh, hey, look. Let's just look at the top collection of some talking head liberal pundits on X. This guy. Senator Schumer just made an offer to compromise that would reopen government with a simple extension of existing law for Affordable Care Act subsidies. Quote, the ball is in Republicans' court. All you need to do is say yes. Wow. Isn't that weird? That's almost exactly the same. It's like you got the email talking points. Let's go over to Brian Krasenstein. He's a fine young gentleman. Senator Schumer just proposed a completely fair deal to open the government. All he asked for was the Affordable Care Act subsidies to be extended for 1 year. This is in Trump's court now. Democrats are trying to protect our health care. Republicans are trying to protect billionaires. It's so simple. Guys, I swear to you on, I don't know, this desk, this mic, whatever, if it decides to work today, or if I can hit the button right. They just take talking point copy paste from the talking points they send out, and they just distribute them, and they just say them in mass. Because all the liberal talking points and all the pundits and all the Democrats and all the king's horses and all the king's men can't make someone vote for Democrats again. Good God. And I didn't even expect that to rhyme. That just happened. All right, let's keep going. Man, I should write some of these things. All right. As you guys get in here, this is what happened today. This is the original They Spoke First. All right. Watch this. Let me hear you in the comments, chats, emojis. Here we go. Chucky Schumer himself saying the stupid part out loud. Watch this.
I'd like to offer a simple proposal that would reopen the government and extend the ACA premium tax credits simultaneously, and then have the opportunity to start negotiating longer-term solutions to health care costs. Let's do all three. I've spoken with my caucus, and Democrats are offering a very simple compromise. Democrats are ready to clear the way to quickly pass a government funding bill that includes health care affordability. Leader Thune just needs to add a clean one-year extension of the ACA tax credits to the CR so that we can immediately address rising health care costs. With this approach, we do not negotiate health care in the shutdown, as Leader Thune has maintained he wishes, and the American people get the tax credit extension they want. That is what many of our Republican colleagues have floated over the last 6 weeks as a compromise. All Republicans have to do is say yes to extend current law for 1 year. It makes sense. And since what we're proposing is only a simple extension of current law, the Senate could do this within a few hours.
Okay, audio is on. Guys, isn't that so weird that all of a sudden it's so magical and amazing and there's so many great opportunities to open the government? It could just happen in 10 minutes, a mere matter of simple hours, my dear fellow patriots in this American plane. There's only one little problem, dickhead. You're the one that did this whole thing. They started out, if you guys remember, they started out by saying they will never ever accept anything else or open the government or vote to open the government again unless they make Affordable Care Act or Obamacare part of the law forever, in perpetuity, which was killed in the One Big Beautiful Bill. And then this little line that he throws in there of, it's current law. Yeah, because the One Big Beautiful Bill is about to go into effect to override it. Of course. And again, these are the same people who didn't want to do a clean CR that would fund the government at existing spending levels. They just want their Affordable Care Act goodies. And now they're coming at the compromise. Because after all, they wouldn't be negotiating anything about Affordable Care Act and health care because they would just get everything that they want. So there's no negotiation, which works, right? It's like, you know what? I'm going to say it. It's like negotiating with a terrorist. I was going to say a kid and candy, but that's not really good. It's really negotiating with a terrorist that's kind of, this doesn't make any sense. And the other thing that I'd really like to bring into this before I show you the media just backhanding the crap out of him in the subtle way that they always do, Schumer. You notice the tone shift? I just want to throw that out there real quick. This is something that I noticed, and it really bothers me. I'm going to get on a bit of a soapbox for a split second. So let me hear if you guys agree, see what I'm seeing, observe it, playing over the target, all the good things. For 38 days now, Republicans have been Satan. Republicans have wanted people to die on the streets. They've wanted people not to get their insulin. They've wanted them to not have any food. They've wanted no SNAP benefits. They've wanted people and planes to fall out of the sky. They've wanted everyone on the planet to die because Republicans are evil and we cannot be seen to embrace fascism and we're trying to save democracy. We could not make this more rhetoric driven. Let's please see my side of my point. There's only one little problem. Now that I need them to accept a compromise because I'm bent over a barrel, I'm going to be very nice. This makes so much sense, and we can get back to the business of the American people. Read between the lines. To me? Is it me? Is it you? Is it us? I don't know. I cannot stand this crap. Because this guy literally was calling you guys evil for a decade. Now he needs something to bail himself out for the off-ramp to get his own... see, I'm getting amped. To get his own butt out of the sling that he put himself in. Now it's Republicans just have to say yes to the dress to get back to the business of the American people. No. Get ready to lose. And I said it, and I don't really care what anyone else thinks. They need to lose. Because they pulled all this crap. Oh my God. The whole thing of like, oh, maybe this won't shut the government down in a year is like, oh my God. Anyway... let's get back to this. Sorry, guys, my emotions came out a little bit. It's Friday night, and you know what? I'm just kind of tired about this crap. All right, let's keep on going. Now to where Politico throws them under the bus, runs them over, then backs up and runs over them again. Because language is very important. And I'm going to show you what I mean in a second. So, Senate Democrats rejected on Friday for a second time legislation that would pay some federal workers and active duty members of the military amid the government shutdown. So they shut it down again because Chucky Schumer had to get up there and say, mea culpa, save me. But listen to this. Again, we're going to get into the really important details here because this is Politico, right? Politico is not a right-wing outlet. It's not anything right-oriented, conservative-oriented. They're about to start using language, which means they're losing. Okay, watch this. Senate GOP eyes funding bill with January 30th end date. And by the way, while we're hovering around the subject, I'm just riffing. I don't script these things. I don't have any written talking points. I'm just riffing on what I'm seeing. It just reminds me of something. Remember this guy? Mark Wayne Mullen, the senator who went on the talk shows on Sunday and said almost exactly what is happening right now and transpiring right now. I've documented the entire thing on my channel. He even said end of January. He said that the House members were going to be put on a 48 return notice. They now are on a 48 return notice. He said they're going to have negotiation bills happening on Wednesday, Thursday, probably vote on Friday. Now the Senate is staying in town at Thune's orders to get this done. Guys, I'm sorry, but if either side is completely and totally evil, how do they know what the other side is going to do enough to go on TV and say it's scripted exactly piece by piece, detail by detail, and then it comes true over the next 5 days? I mean, my goodness gracious. Let's continue, though. Keep in mind, this is written on 11/07. That is today. Again, I'm not doing the update because it tricks me every time. Senate Republicans have largely coalesced around the end of January as their new government funding expiration date, according to 4 people with direct knowledge of the matter who were granted anonymity to share information about ongoing negotiations. Again, the things that weren't happening, but they were. At each other's houses, oddly enough, probably over drinks and s'mores. Republicans are tentatively looking at a continuing resolution that would run until January 30th, which was a topic of discussion during a closed-door conference meeting Friday as members of both parties look for a path toward ending the government shutdown. Again, it's really weird. It's weird. We're just going to leave it at weird. This is the worst sentence. It's Friday. At this point, we're going to have some fun. This is the worst sentence ever. They should have really thought about this before they said this verbiage. When talking about the Senate Appropriations Chair, Susan Collins, and how they were going to, make this whole deal work, some Senator Husted from Ohio said, Susan's going to finish this off soon. That is terribly bad. He added, though, that Democrats are dragging their feet to close out any agreement to reopen the government. Mullen accused Democrats of moving the goalpost in their funding talks, which did happen, including in their offer Friday to vote a 3-bill minibus and stopgap funding patch alongside a 1-year extension of expiring Affordable Care Act tax credits. It's an absolute non-starter, Mullen said of the demands. And I can see that you guys... You guys enjoyed that quote. Susan's going to finish it off soon. I hope Susan does. All right, now, let's get down to the part that I wanted to show you here. This is the punch in the face. And if you guys are just now getting in here, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on. Your chats, emojis, comments make this interaction amazingly fun and helps it spread to all those who come behind you in the viewing YouTube algorithm. So please do just that. Man, this has been a really fun episode so far. And it's about to get better. Senate Democrats propose a one-year Obamacare subsidies punt in new shutdown offer. Hold the phone. Let's have a conversation real quick. A punt. Well, in politics, in covering politics, which I've done and followed for about 30 years of my life, when politicians and when reporters and news outlets use words like punt and pounce, it doesn't work out. Like, for example, you know, every time the Republicans make a move and the media frames it as Republicans pounce, right? And then it's like one of Ben Shapiro's main little jump lines. And then on this one, it's punting. Well, punting means you didn't connect. You didn't land. So we're just going to punt it and hope it works out. We're going to give the other team the ball and hopefully they don't run it for a touchdown. That's what punting means in political language and football alike. Well, now I'm going to show you something that happened not so long ago. Again, you guys know how I love me some history and tying it all together. This happened way back in March of this year at the last funding debacle. This is Politico again. Schumer punts on how Senate Dems will handle the GOP spending bill. Do you guys remember how pissed off everyone was at Chuck Schumer for signing that and for allowing that spending bill to go through in March? Because if you do, let me know over here in the chat, because it happened. The far left progressives, the Young Turks, the Progressive Caucus, everybody making a ruckus right now was pissed at him in March. Real pissed. And the language, Schumer punts on how Senate Dems will handle the GOP spending bill. There's the date right there. And then we go back to current. Look, Senate Democrats propose one-year Obama subsidies punt in new shutdown offer. Politico's not having it. And by the way, it's the same woman who wrote it. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer laid out a new Democratic counterproposal. A counterproposal to their own rejection of the proposal. Like, they said we're not voting on it, and then they offered a counterproposal to them not voting on it. But what? Anyway, let's continue. For ending the government shutdown, attaching a one-year extension of soon-to-expire Affordable Care Act subsidies to a spending stopgap that would reopen agencies. Yeah. Oh, God in heaven. The punting thing is so good. And by the way, I whipped out the red highlighter here in a second. You're going to see why, because it's really important. Quote, this is a reasonable offer that reopens the government, deals with healthcare affordability, and begins the process of negotiating reforms to the ACA tax credits for the future, Chuck Schumer said. Now the ball is in the Republicans' court. We need Republicans to just say yes to the dress. I'm going to keep on doing it. It's just fun. Key Senate Republicans immediately ruled it out, however, with Majority Leader John Thune calling it a non-starter. The Obamacare extension is the negotiation, he said. Okay, hey look, I found the red highlighter, and you guys really got to see this, and then we're going to do a few more things I got to walk you through here. Schumer's counteroffer, again, to his own action, came after Democrats met privately, this part, privately for hours Thursday to try to find a path forward that would unify the caucus. Skirt! Hold the phone, hard stop, slam the brakes. How could they be looking for a way to have a unified caucus on a Democrat-run shutdown if they were completely unified prior? I mean, it's really basic. If you're already in a swimming pool and you're all wet from the water, you aren't going to have a conversation about how we get wet from the water. You're already wet from the water, I thought. I thought you said you were already in the swimming pool. It's a weird analogy, but you get the idea. They're just shooting from the hip, which goes to the point that I've been telling you this entire freaking time. They never had the cards on this. They never had the spending blockage from the Office of Management and Budget. They never had the votes. They never had the exit plan. They never knew anything except they wanted to cause a ruckus and stand up to Trump. That was it. They were losing spending. They were losing legislatively. They were losing executively. They were losing across the board. They did not have the exit ramp. They didn't have a clear set goal of victory. Now, you have Chuck Schumer that just comes out and goes, well, how about just like maybe 1 year? I mean 6 months. Maybe a promise? And what's going to happen, my bet, I'm not Nostradamus, but If I were to make a gamble on this, I would honestly say that the Republicans are going to respond to what he just said. He's like, how about this little negotiation? Republicans are going to go, eat shit and die. And then Trump's going to come in and go, I'm the greatest deal maker there's ever been in the whole world. We're going to go right in the middle. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to get everything. You're going to get nothing. You're going to be happy about it. You can sell it the whole way. It'll be great. It'll be the greatest negotiation you've ever had. I mean, I'm betting that's what it's going to be. They'll probably throw out we promise we'll talk about this in the next session. All you have to do is be my baby back, be. Anyway, let's continue. Oh man, Friday nights lives are fun. All right. It's a shift from the start of the shutdown when Democrats included a permanent extension of the Obamacare subsidies and an alternative to the GOP-led continuing resolution that passed the House. Here we go. Right here, this part at the end. A person familiar with the conversation, granted anonymity to describe the private conversation, said that the tone and approach of the senators in the meeting doesn't reflect what you see on the floor. Come here. No shit. Because what these people are doing is they're trying to manipulate they're evil, no, they're evil, while they're spending time in each other's houses in D.C., having drinks, s'mores, snuggies, and lovely bonfire chats, and how they're going to manipulate this so both teams don't lose that bad. Meanwhile, the American people being used as the leverage point are the ones that are taking it right on the chin. I mean, guys, I told you I hate these government shutdowns, and I hate covering them, and I hate watching them, simply because they are all about manipulation of the population and the perception of whose fault it is. That's the entire idea on both sides. Whenever one does it, the other one does it. It's all about trying to frame the other person for being bad. It's a complete and total manipulation every single time. In this case, the Democrats came out and they were leveraging the American people, and they were the ones putting everyone else's butt on the line for their own political power, which is what I've been trying to show you the entire time. And let me know in the comments if I've been doing a really good job of it or I've really been sucking at it. Other than the whole audio hitting buttons thing. I know I beat myself up enough on that one. But honest to God, what you're looking at right now is that both parties trying to find an off-ramp and trying to look good to their base. And meanwhile, it's just Democrats starting the negotiation, which is effectively going to put them in the back seat or the disadvantage when they come back in with a counter proposal. That's my own take on it. I don't know. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Bottom line, they suck. I think we can all agree with that. And this has been quite the shenanigan. But I've enjoyed every second of spending time with you guys because it's something we have to do for our country, this nation, this group, this demographic, the next demographics, these people, the next people, our progeny in the future. And I thank each of you for being a part with me. Listen, I love each and every one of you just the right amount that makes you feel comfortable. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Have an amazing Friday. And I will see you tomorrow when we probably have more shenanigans to cover on this. How we got to the brink but somehow made a decision. That's what I'm guessing. I'll see you guys then.